these people also have to have faces to talk to, words to encourage them.
Love Sanford. It's been a great place for me, more so than just the education, it's just the people you meet here.
I just have been so touched by the attention they've shown me and the genuine desire they've had to get to know me.
Dr. Westmoreland has said it best, that it's a marathon, not a sprint, not a race.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Samford Chronicle. I'm Brad Radisi, your host, and as you can tell, it's a quiet day here on the Samford campus, but that belies all the activity that was here as the spring semester came to an end. Some of the biggest news came just days ago when Sanford announced a multi-million-dollar gift from the estate of Virginia Samford Donovan. The Samford family has long ties to the university, and this gift, one of the largest in Samford history. It was established in 1974 through a trust by Mrs. Donovan's late husband, Frank Park Samford Jr. Mr. Samford's father was chairman of the university's board of trustees for many years and led the move from Eastlake to the present campus. In 1965, the university was renamed in the honor of the Samford family. University officials announced that this latest gift will be used to endow the Presidential Scholars Program, which recognizes outstanding academic achievement by some of the university's hardest working and most deserving students.
It's a real big advantage for us to be able to set aside this money and ensure that there's always a source of funds to provide these presidential scholarships so that these outstanding students can come to Sanford.
And the celebrations continued with more than 800 students receiving their degree in a weekend of graduation activities. I remember when I graduated back in 1999, but the format in the schedule, well, it's changed since commencement has been moved back to campus. The weekend began with a student-led prayer breakfast that focused on the importance of Samford's mission as a Christian university.
Through all of this wisdom that has been imparted on us, we have gained the understanding as followers of Christ that wherever we go from here, it is necessary for us to use the wisdom that we have gained for the betterment of those around us.
Students received diplomas in a series of ceremonies that featured speakers talking about public service, faith commitment, and global engagement. At the nursing school graduation, the mother-son duo of Karen and Kenneth Taylor both received graduate degrees.
The experience has been great. We sit in a lot of the same classrooms, just at different times. Obviously, a lot of the instructors know each other, or sometimes the same people. So it's been a really good experience, and graduating together is something that very few people get to do, and I feel honored that we're getting to do so.
At the Saturday morning ceremony, Nabil Costa, an educator and business entrepreneur from Lebanon, spoke and received an honorary degree from Samford.
Jesus Christ told you graduates that you are the light of the world. You may be one of those who will impact not only your own community and company, but perhaps even the Middle East.
It was a weekend of celebration that graduates and their families will remember for a lifetime.
One thing that I will certainly carry with me is the friendships I've developed with not only my peers, but also my professors. I just have been so touched by the attention they've shown me and the genuine desire they've had to get to know me, and I found that to be true in how they treat every student.
Even amidst celebrations, the Samford community continues to focus on relief efforts from the devastating tornadoes that swept through Alabama and the South on April the 27th. Fortunately, the campus was spared any injury or damage, but several dozen employees and student families were adversely affected by the storms. One Samford alumna, 2006 nursing graduate Carrie Greer Lowe, died when the house where she was visiting was destroyed. Almost immediately after the storms, the university community began to organize and mobilize to help storm victims.
Just the small things of even transporting the people that can get up on the roof, or these people also have to have faces to talk to and words to encourage them through the time.
I just felt like it was a great way to spend my Saturday. I knew I wasn't going to be studying all day, so I figured I'd come out and spend some hours here and try to help out my community.
Samford President Andy Westmoreland has appointed a task force to coordinate the university's long-term recovery response, anticipating that it will take months even years for the community and the state to recover.
There's extensive damage in so many communities in Alabama, and Dr. Westmoreland has said it best that it's a marathon, not a sprint, not a race. And so as we move into the summer months, we anticipate that Sanford will be able to provide service of hearts and hands in that rebuilding process in these homes and these communities.
I know that most of the Sanford students and community might be away from Birmingham this summer, but that doesn't mean that you can keep the Birmingham community in your prayer, and the Tuscaloosa, Pleasant Grove, and continue to give.
You can continue to follow the university's response and learn ways that you can help by going to samford.edu and clicking on the special storm recovery link. And in other Sanford news, Sanford students were featured in a different kind of way at the end of the semester with the annual Sanford Showcase. Although student research and performance is featured throughout the year, this annual 3-day academic extravaganza highlights the research work between students and faculty members in the humanities, sciences, arts, healthcare, and business. And how about the Sanford men's tennis team? They won the Southern Conference Championship and played in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The team celebrated with a watch party the day the NCAA pairings were announced. And 7 Sanford athletic teams received public recognition awards from the NCAA in their annual academic progress ratings. Honored were men's and women's basketball, men's and women's golf, women's cross country, women's indoor track and field, and women's outdoor track and field. Former presidential candidate and current TV guy Mike Huckabee was on campus recently for a few events hosted by the Sanford Auxiliary. An evening gala raised about $100,000 for a new scholarship to be awarded to the children of career missionaries. In this edition of the Chronicle, we feature a multi-generation alumni story. David George and Allison Young met on the Sanford campus. They were married and went on to distinguished careers, but perhaps one of their proudest achievements came a few days ago when they welcomed their son Kyle as a fellow member in the Sanford Alumni Association after he received his degree during spring commencement.
We met when she was a freshman, but it was in her sophomore year. Kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Hey, let's go to dinner.
He comes up to me. I was heading up to the cafeteria, asked me if I wanted to go eat. We ended up going out and sitting and talking for like 4 hours, and it was a pretty much instant connection.
Because both of my parents went to Sanford, I didn't really want to go to Sanford. I'd grown up in Birmingham most of my life. I wanted to go out of state, get out of Birmingham. I looked at a lot of different places, and just the thing that was lacking at those campuses for me was that I just didn't feel that sense of community that I feel here at Sanford. Came here for a tour, kind of got me started to think about it more, and I came to Scholars Day because my mom made me. That day I actually met a lot of my best friends that I'll be graduating with today, and it's been the best decision I've made all along. Love Sanford. It's been a great place for me. More so than just the education, it's just the people you meet here.
Thank you, Sanford.
Yes.
You gave me my wife, you've helped my son grow up, and my daughter's here now. And I'm very grateful to Sanford University.
Yes, it is truly a sacred place in our hearts.
And the story continues for the George family. Sanford senior Caitlin will march into the Pete Hanna Center and join them as a proud Sanford alumna. Well, we're out of time, but the Sanford stories, they keep on coming. Just check out samford.edu for the latest. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, amongst other social media sites. Thanks for watching the Sanford Chronicle. I'm Brad Radici. We'll see you next time.